Alright, so this is what we're installing, is this Harbor Freight Badland 3,000 pound working load synthetic winch line. Decided to go with this one because, well, first of all, it was only 35 bucks. And second of all, it came with this fair lead, which I'm hoping is going to fit. I just think that's going to look a lot better than those rollers. Open it up here real quick. So it should be 50 feet of line. There's the fair lead. It's kind of got a rough finish to it. And then here's our 50 feet of line that has the protector on it. I think it's on both ends. And it comes with one of the cheap metal hooks on the end, so we'll get it installed. Okay, right here there's a set screw. It's a 3/32 Allen key that'll get that off, and then you should be able to just pull the winch line free. Right here I had some trouble trying to put the new winch line in the existing hole. I tried adding lubricant to help it slide in, but nothing seemed to work, so I just ended up taking out some drill bits and widening the hole just a little bit more. I wasn't able to get the line to go all the way through, but it was far enough that I could set the set screw and hold it in place. Once you have this thing wound, I don't think it'd ever come undone unless you completely unwound it. So I messed with this bolt for probably a good 15 minutes. I tried a few different things to try and make it fit. But this is supposed to be a 4 7/8 fair lead. And either CFMoto or this Badland is off a little bit. I think it's the CFMoto because the Badland I measured center to center and it was right at 4 7/8. So I just could not get it to line up. I think I'll explain a little bit later in the video what I was running into. Alright, so on this Badland's winch and fair lead, I'm gonna have to give it a fail. It did not fit on this machine. So I ended up putting the line on there, but I put this back on the roller that came with it, even though I think it's ugly, and I'm not sure if you're supposed to use the roller type with the synthetic, but I don't see how there could really be a problem. So I just put that back on. The problem is that this fair lead, these recessed holes right here where the bolt goes in, there's no play. So it just barely would fit those bolts. And the problem is on this fair lead, the hole here on the back side of this bolt is oblong, so it can kind of slide side to side. With this, where that's recessed, it can't slide this side to side. It's got to be a straight shot. So that was my problem. So if you're looking to buy one of these Harbor Freight ones, put it on your CFMoto. This is the CForce 500 2022. I couldn't get it to fit. I even drilled out these holes a little bit bigger to see if maybe I could wiggle it around a little bit, but my problem was, like I said, this recessed part right here, the bolt would just barely fit in there, so there was no wiggle room. I suppose you could drill that out bigger and you could probably make it work, but I didn't have any bits big enough, and I don't have a drill bit press or anything like that to get a nice drill, so I had to throw this back on, which is kind of a bummer, but it'll work for now. But I wanted to put this on there because I think it just looks a lot better. So, kind of disappointing. I do prefer the synthetic line though. Just trying to coil up that steel line to put it away was a pain in the butt because it's got a memory to it, so it wants to snap back. So if you don't find that memory of how it coiled up, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So the synthetic stuff's a lot easier to work with. Anyways, there you have it. Have a good one. So I wanted to kind of show you why this fairlead would not fit. These are just some bolts that I've pulled out of my toolbox. So I could get one on, but what would happen is, now this is a 4 7/8 fairlead, that's what it says. And I measured my other fairlead and it was the same. But what would happen is that either CF Moto, where their winch mount is, or Harbor Freight, there must be a little bit off. But I could get the one in, but the other one, it would be a little bit cockeyed like that. And there was no clearance at all inside of this recess, so I couldn't get it to line up at all. So I couldn't do that to make it work, basically. So I'm sure if I found, a bolt with a smaller head on it, I could probably make it work. But I don't know. I don't really care to do that. But yeah, that's basically the problem I was running into, is that it needed to be like that for it basically to work, but I couldn't make that work, so